Hey, it's Rachel Cooke, your modern mentor. I'm the founder of Lead Above Noise, where we help leaders rethink how the work gets done, like in ways that are hyper-productive, but that also keep people well and engaged. We deliver the tools and skills so that leaders learn to build human goodness into the work rather than relying on programs outside of the work to fix overwhelm and burnout. Do you have an upcoming event or offsite that could use a dose of inspiration and direction? Reach out today at leadabovenoise.com/connect. Okay, on to today. So one of my daughters has recently started creeping down the Friends rabbit hole. She has a lot of curiosity around how they all seem to have so much time to spend in that coffee shop. She is not wrong to wonder this. Central Perk, after all, played such a role in that show. It was their place, where they gathered and caffeinated and made us laugh every Thursday night at 8. Because yes, I watched those shows back in the days of primetime. There was a magic there, kind of similar to what Howard Schultz built Starbucks around. And he called it the third place. Like home is our first place, work is our second, but we needed a third, somewhere to just be and belong. And now it feels like we're having a crisis of second place. As in work, it is feeling pretty broken. Our sense of place there it's feeling off. The second place used to build itself. Proximity did most of the work. We showed up together in the same space, and by the nature of our just being physically together, we built community, kind of by accident. And now, we've got remote work and global teams and hybrid schedules, or sometimes commuting to offices just to sit on Zoom calls all day. We are not thriving. We're burning out and quiet quitting, and our results are showing it. As I'm running Work Better by Design workshops with leaders these days, I'm hearing the same themes everywhere. Things like, we execute pretty well, but we don't feel like a team anymore. No one pushes back or challenges. We all just stay in our lane and keep things safe. Or, the pipeline of younger leaders isn't really growing. Graduates coming into the workforce are struggling to navigate. They're not building networks or learning the unwritten rules because senior people aren't really here to teach them. Or problem solving feels so much slower. Trust is lower and we do everything by Slack or email. No one just picks up the phone anymore. And these recurring themes are due in part to the issue of place. When there's no trust to just call someone, no informal learning moments, no sense that you belong to something bigger than your task list. And so today, I would love to share a handful of strategies that we can play with and help start to rebuild. First, create buddy systems that actually work. New hires are drowning, and they don't know who to ask. They don't know what's normal, and they don't know how to navigate. Traditional buddy systems fail because they're kind of vague. You assign someone a buddy, they grab a coffee once, maybe send a handful of messages, but it fizzles because neither person really knows what they're supposed to be doing. What works is getting specific about what the buddy relationship is actually for. Like one company I know gives buddies 3 clear roles. They say you are the cultural translator to help explain the unwritten rules. You're the navigator who helps them understand who does what and how things happen. And you're the sounding board, the safe person to whom they can ask their dumb questions. They also structure the cadence. Weekly check-ins for the first month, bi-weekly for months 2 and 3, and then monthly after that through the first year. And they give buddies conversation prompts, not scripts, but questions to help anchor the conversations. Like, what surprised you this week? Or what's something you're unclear on? Or who should you know that you haven't met yet? And it doesn't have to be limited to just onboarding. Some teams are creating buddy rotations across the whole team, pairing people who don't normally work together every quarter. It's creating connective tissue that doesn't form on its own anymore. Next up, make information access equal. This one may sound obvious, but a lot of us are missing it. Remote employees are getting left behind because information flows differently now. In an office, you run into someone in the hallway and you mention an opportunity or an idea. You casually loop someone in just because they're sitting nearby. And remote workers are missing all that, and they're feeling it. So create processes to level the playing field. If you're going to mention something to one person, really be mindful of trying to send it to everyone who should know. If there's an opportunity, post it where everyone can see it. An idea you're noodling on, share it with the team and invite everyone to weigh in. If decisions are being made, document them somewhere everybody has access. One team I know created the rule that if it's important enough to say out loud, it's important enough to write down. And they just use a shared channel where anyone can drop updates, ideas, or opportunities. It's not about creating more process or bureaucracy. It's about making sure everyone has access to the same information, regardless of where they're sitting. Next, alternate your meeting formats. A lot of teams run the same meeting week after week. Status updates, project check-ins, moving work forward. Same format, same energy. And it can get tired. So try building in some variety. Not every meeting needs to be about work updates. Try alternating weeks. Maybe one week is all business, decisions, updates, problem solving. Maybe the next is a working session where you're brainstorming a set of ideas. Maybe a third is about what's actually feeling hard right now and how you can better support each other. Maybe a fourth is sharing what you're learning or just what you're seeing or wondering about in the market. I've seen teams split their weekly meeting, so the first half is structured around the work and the second is open. Bring a challenge you're stuck on or flag something that needs attention or just talk about what's on your mind. The point isn't to eliminate structure, but to create variety and help keep people more fully engaged. And don't let these things get cut when times get tight and busy. That's exactly when teams need them most. If connection only happens when there's slack in the system, then connection never happens. And finally, co-create your team charter. Most teams have norms that are invisible. And when they're invisible, people guess. And sometimes they guess wrong, and trust can erode. So make them visible. But don't do it top down. Co-create the team charter together. Sit down as a team and talk about how do we want to work together? How do we make decisions? What do we do when we disagree? How do we handle conflict? What does support look like here? And what are we optimizing for right now? And then connect it back to the bigger picture. How does the way we work together reflect what the organization stands for? And how do our team norms ladder up to a broader mission? This isn't a one-time exercise. Revisit it regularly, maybe quarterly, because as your team changes and your work changes, how you work together should probably evolve too. What this does is create shared ownership. Everyone has input. Everyone understands the agreements. And when something's new, you have something concrete to point them to that says, here's how we do the things. I don't have a perfect answer for rebuilding all of this, but it is definitely not happening on its own, and mandates won't fix it. What will is intention, deliberate design, leaders brave enough to admit we've lost something and having the courage to build it back. The third place didn't happen by accident, and the second place won't rebuild itself either. But it could if we're willing to do the work. So pick one strategy, try it, and see if something shifts. I hope this sparked something new for you. Shoot me a note at rachel@leadabovenoise.com and tell me what you're trying. And let me know if you're looking for a speaker at an upcoming event or offsite. You can follow Modern Mentor on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Find and follow me on LinkedIn. Thanks so much for listening and have a successful week. Modern Mentor is a quick and dirty tips podcast. Thanks so much to the QDT team. Audio engineer, Dan Fauerband. Director of podcasts, Holly Hutchings. Ad operations specialist, Morgan Christensen. Marketing manager, Rebecca Sebastian. And our marketing contractor, Nat Hoops.